Niklas Eliasson was convicted for 15 assaults, but in total he committed 18 crimes. But there is no way to know how many women actually fell victim to this man. Hi everyone, I'm just Isa and welcome to Dark History of Sweden. Today's video might be a little bit different because this was actually compiled for an assignment I had earlier this year. But I decided to rewrite it for a Dark History of Sweden video. We will be talking about ÖREBROMANNEN, the man from Örebro. He is known as one of the most horrific rapists in Sweden. Huge trigger warning on this one. This one is about a serial rapist that was quite violent. So if this really triggers and disturbs you, skip this video. Your well-being is more important than a true crime video. Take care of yourself and each other. So, his name is Niklas Eliasson, born November 13, 1986 in Hudiksvall. He was convicted for 15 cases of assault on women and girls in Örebro between the years of 2005 and 2010. He grew up in Sköllersta with his mother, father, and 2 sisters. His father was a doctor and his mother a stay-at-home wife. When he was 11, they divorced, and it hit him pretty hard. When he was told, he just screamed like an animal, according to his mother. When the mother asked for divorce, the father turned cold and distant. They sold the house and each got an apartment. In the beginning, it was every other week with respective parents, but after a while they moved in full-time with the father. They visited the mother every other weekend, but Niklas didn't always come with. With the years, the mother started to cancel their visits or planned activities. The relationship with his mother was very strained as she continuously cancelled every time they were supposed to see each other. When Niklas graduated gymnasiet, she didn't even show up to congratulate him. When he stayed with his father, around the age of 14, he started to go out and ride his bike late at night. This is probably when his stalker behavior started. Around the age of 18, he started to steal bras and underwear from drying racks. He kept them in his room. Niklas' school life wasn't much better. He was known to be weird and an outcast. Not really bullied, but he didn't have too many friends and experienced loneliness. The other kids perceived him to be shy and reserved and didn't talk too much either. In high school, it was noted that Niklas wasn't feeling too great mentally and was self-harming, but nothing was done. In gymnasiet, he became even more withdrawn and isolated, which led to him starting to drink alcohol and smoke marijuana to deal with anxiety. He also started taking an interest in weapons and started to collect knives, which he kept by his bed in case they came for him. This collection of his made both family and classmates be even more wary of him. Niklas Eliasson was convicted for 15 assaults, but in total he committed 18 crimes. But there is no way to know how many women actually fell victim to this man. In the beginning, he just followed the women on his bike late at night, never talked or touched them. But he knew when and where they came and went. On the 28th of March 2010, around 5 in the morning, 2 young men were on their way home when they hear a woman yell. As they get closer to the sound, they find a woman lying in the mud, her hands bound behind her back with a zip tie, her pants and underwear down by her ankles. She had been brutally raped for over 1.5 hours. This is the start of the hunt of the perpetrator that scared the entire city of Örebro. But this wasn't the first of his crimes. Already in 2005, April 3rd, he makes his first attempt at rape. He tackles the woman to the ground, pulls down her pants and underwear, but when he realizes that she's on her period, he he runs away. The next attempt took place on the 11th of August 2005, but he got scared when he saw the lights of a car and ran away. The third attempt didn't take place until 16th of April 2006, and thankfully she got away from his violent assault before he could rape her. Then there is a gap where the police can't confirm any crimes committed by Niklas, and there won't be one until 2008, when he apparently tried to mug someone. In 2009, he makes 3 more rape attempts, as well as an assault and a mugging. His attempts were strange, and investigators didn't quite understand how he was thinking. Many of these attempts were made under streetlights or on sidewalks where they could easily be seen, hence why he had to flee before he could actually rape the victim. But then on November 1st, 2009, Niklas is once again out when he sees a woman and decides he's going to rape her. He hits her on her head and drags her over to a garage driveway. Zip ties her hands behind her back, pulls down her pants and underwear. Just like first time, this woman was also on her period. But this time, it wouldn't stop him. In December, there is another rape attempt, which makes the police wonder if all of these attempts are done by the same person. They're all violent, and the women's description of what happened are very similar. He attacks them from behind, hitting and pulling them brutally, and zip ties their hands behind their backs. March 28th, 2010, the same one we talked about first, takes place. A young woman on her way home after hanging out with friends is attacked by Niklas, who have stalked her for a bit on her walk home. He waits for her a little further up the road near a building site, and when she approaches, he grabs and drags her to the building site. This attack, struggle, and rape lasts for 1.5 to almost 2 hours. He then leaves her half naked in the cold mud. But this is the attack that gives the police a clue, because in the struggle, while dragging her away, he drops his lip balm. This shook Örebro even worse than it already had. The fact that this rapist brutally and violently raped a girl for almost 2 hours, then left her to die, was unfathomable. They worried that this was only going to get worse and end up with murder. Since they now have his DNA, he knows that sooner or later they will find him. So he fully immerses himself in the role of rapist with no restriction. The attacks now increased. On the 10th of October 2010, Niklas leaves his home and a series of assaults takes place. First, a woman with a hearing disability gets attacked in her inner courtyard, but a neighbor sees and calls out for him to stop. Niklas runs away, and 30 minutes later, the police gets another call about another assault. In the middle of this rape, a carrier passes by and Niklas runs away once again. But when he gets up, his hood falls back and the carrier gets a better look at the perpetrator. Later that same night, another assault takes place. A woman is being dragged into her own apartment by an unknown man. He gets violent and takes a chokehold on her while threatening her. Then, he just stops. An intense investigatory work started to catch this criminal, but it turned out to be more difficult than they first had thought. Several attempts at perpetrator profiles and advanced geographical profiling led nowhere. The police had quite some issues with connecting a suspect to all of these crimes. It seemed as if whoever were committing all of these crimes were forensically aware. Never showed his face, were masked to some capacity. He attacked from behind and wore gloves, and he used a condom which he took with him when he escaped the crime scene. It was a very pressured situation where the police had nothing that could lead them to the perpetrator, while the public criticized them for not doing anything to capture him. The bars and nightlife closed down, and the citizens of Örebro became more careful. But on the 28th of March 2010, they finally got a lead. The perpetrator dropped his lip balm during an attack. Niklas now knows that they have found his lip balm and believes that they will find him with the help of the TERRORIZES, which is a register where anyone born after 1975 has been recorded through a blood sample taken after they are born. But it is not usable by the police since it's only allowed to be used in research purposes. In a state of panic, he calls up the University Hospital in Stockholm to be removed from this register. The police are afraid that it will only escalate further and might even lead to murder, so they take new actions to stop this serial rapist. Since they now had his DNA because of the dropped lip balm, they might have a way to find the perpetrator, but it would take some time. With the help of the analysis of the description of the perpetrator and where the crimes have taken place, the police makes a list of 2,000 men who are called in for DNA testing to see if they can find a match. Niklas is one of these 2,000. When he gets the letter with his appointment, he calls up the police to let them know that he won't be able to make it. When they try to reschedule, he just said that he don't want to, or just said that he couldn't. In a state of panic, he was contemplating suicide. He packed a bag with rope and handcuffs, just to make sure that he didn't break free in case the survival instincts kicked in. Instead, he goes out and attacks 3 women. The police couldn't understand why he all of a sudden attacked 3 in one day. They guessed that he had been called for DNA sampling. When cross-referencing which men had recently been called, Niklas stood out. At the same time, they had made a discovery with the zip ties. They had investigated exports and wholesalers to find out where he could have bought them, which led them to Kronans Apotek, a well-known pharmacy in Sweden, where Niklas had worked stock work. These 2 points made it obvious to the police that they had to find Niklas Eliasson. They placed out several scouting teams at hotspots where he most likely could be. It didn't take long for them to find him at his mother's house. Niklas said during interrogation that he had a voice in his head that told him to commit these crimes, that told him to rape these victims even though he knew that it was wrong. He had to obey the voice. In one of the documentaries that I watched, there was a psychotherapist that talked about it as an addiction. Niklas starts off by following them, then it slowly escalates with violence and sexual assault. Niklas has some kind of desire and excitement for crossing the line. And every time he does, he only needs more to make it even more thrilling. He also mentioned that with the voice in his head, it almost made it more reasonable for him to convince himself to do it. When he finally got caught, he confessed to 10 rapes and was still a suspect for at least 3 more. June 2011, legal action is taken against Niklas Eliasson, and by the 11th of June 2011, he is found guilty and receives 12 years in prison. There are still doubts whether he was caught and punished for all his crimes. It's highly unlikely that he was. He was provisionally released in October of 2018 and now lives under a new identity. That was all I had for you today. It was brutal. And next week we are going to talk about a similar case, Hagamannen. So make sure that you subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss it. And don't forget to like and comment this video. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourself and each other, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye! We will be talking about ÖREBROMANNEN, the man from Örebro. Oh god. Lights of car. I saw the entire sentence wrong anyways, so whatever. Okay. On the 10th of October 2010, 10, I just realized. Creepy. Okay. When he gets up, his food. Fuck. Okay. Later that same night, another assault. Thank you. Perpetrator profiles. Everyone born after 1975 has been recorded through a blood sample when they first are born. What the fuck did I just say? When they're what?